Hello, welcome you all. So, in continuation to our discussion over the two-port network, the module number two, today we are going to discuss our last parameters, that is the transmission parameter, or sometimes it is also called ABCD parameters. And some authors also recognize it as a in short T parameters. So, T stands for transmission parameters. So till now we have seen the three different class of parameters, that is the impedance parameter, which is primarily used when the voltage variables are unknown, or in other words you can say the dependent variables. At the same time, it is usually used to solve the analysis relevant to the impedance matching property in relation to the cascade network. Okay, so that is in terms of impedance. The second we discussed about the admittance parameter, or specifically what we call short circuit admittance parameter, yes, or Y parameter, and it is primarily used to entertain again for the impedance matching purpose in terms of admittance if more than one network are interconnected in shunt or in parallel across. That means if they lie across. So obviously a nodal analysis will be applicable here, and that is the reason, fundamental reason that why we should approach for the admittance. Number two, for a given electrical or electronic network, sometimes it may not be possible to evaluate or to calculate the impedance value and as well as the impedance parameters of the two-port network very easily. Okay? It may not be practically feasible, or even if it is feasible, then it will take very longer steps. So ultimately, it is encouraging the delay response. That is something what we never wish for, right? So that's why in that circumstances we use the admittance parameter for the sake of flexibility. Okay. At the same time, then we also saw hybrid parameters, which is basically a combination. Port wise is a combination of the Z parameter and Y parameter. Okay, without satisfying the requirement of constraint we put in case of Z parameter and Y parameter respectively. What does it mean? For an example, we have seen the different kind of transistorized configuration. We discussed that most of electronic devices, they configure, they analyze based on this particular parameters only, that is the hybrid parameter. Reason is that one of the port or terminal pair is responding in terms of the impedance parameter, while at the same time the other one port, adjacent port, is behaving in terms of the admittance parameter. So that's why we pick the hybrid parameter or H parameter. We also discussed a subclass of hybrid parameter, that is called a G parameter, if this scenario is different. So obviously if input port is favoring to the Z parameters, so that means the input port is more sequentially connected in cascaded manner. Say at the same time, if there are more than one network exists in terms of output towards the output parameter, and all those output terminals are connected in shunt, so obviously it is encouraging to establish a relation in terms of the admittance parameter. So in other words, simpler you can say that when we said that Z parameter is used for the serial interconnection of the different network or the different stages within a device or circuit or a system, while the Y parameter is used to entertain the parallel interconnection between the number of stages. So in that case, what about the job of hybrid parameter? Yes, it is used to interconnect the serial to parallel communication. That means the exchange of information, exchange of energy, or in terms of current and voltage is as a variable to establish in a mode that is called serial to parallel interconnection or serial to parallel communication. Okay, so here communication, that means the exchange of information. Here is the exchange of signal or exchange of the power itself. Okay, in terms of current and voltage parameters, right? Okay, so similarly, if you have a configuration like parallel to serial communication or serial connection, that is the reverse of that, what will happen? That then that case circumstances, without violating any constraint, we prefer to use the subclass of H parameter, that is called the G parameter or inverse H parameter, inverse hybrid parameters. Okay, so technically both has the same thing, whereas it must have been noted that we also discussed that maybe the entire Z could be a inverse of Y, but if that doesn't mean Z11 will be the inverse of Y11 or vice versa. Okay. Similarly, the H11 cannot be compared with Z11 because in both the case, even though you are getting the ratio of V by I, okay, but in the conditions you put is very different. Okay. In case of the Z parameters where the currents are all the independent variable, so in both the terminal you apply the open circuit condition, whereas in case of H11 you apply the short circuit condition. Now because the constraints are different, so H11 cannot be comparable with Z11. So I hope that this must be remembered, and the fundamentals should be clear to you. So let us proceed without waste much time. So today's topic is our transmission parameters. As I said, that the T stands for the transmission parameter, and its name suggests this parameter or this modeling approach is typical is dedicatedly designed, okay, for the purpose of the analyzing and the designing the feasibility of the power transmission networks. Okay, so it's typically you can say that this parametrical approach is specifically designed for the application of power systems, that is the power transmission for the longer distance. Okay, and that's why you know that as far as the transmissions are concerned, so transmission is network is primarily is a interconnection which is used to interface between the power distribution network, that means the local network near to your home or office like environment, and on the contrary to that, in the other side your grid is there, and then grid is basically used to interconnect the transmission network with the power generations unit. And that power generation units, unlike the today's scenario when we talk about the smart grid, that means the bidirectional flow of the power along with the information, using information technology with the exchange of a lot of informations. You have so many intelligent gadgets are also involving that. You have a solar rooftop systems also where you can, even a household can generate a power. So that means your local distribution system should capable to deal with the bidirectional flow of power. Okay, the job of transmission network is more or less is the unidirectional, of course. So that's why when we talk about smart grid world, so today we to implement a smart grid, we don't wish that our entire interconnected grid in India, okay, will be completely converged to the smart grid. That maybe around 20 years down the line probably you will be see some feasibility, but not now. If you see the cost aspect, the complexity, and the amount of technology investment is required, investigators and the scientists they found it in the research experts who working in this particular domain, their suggestion is that you are more focused to establish the distributed grids, that is sometimes is called the microgrids. Okay, so there will be a small grid who will take care of your own city, own town, or the maybe myriad of number of towns. Okay, maybe hundreds of thousands of villages, or maybe your individual city. Okay, so but if you see the transmission network's role, so still today it is more or less is stick to the same limit, that is its job is to transfer the power, okay, in one direction, that is from the generation unit to towards the consumer side. Okay, so as you can appreciate in this particular model, okay, as you can see that we have got the equation of in terms of transmission parameter, that is T11, 12, 21 and 22. Sometimes it is for the sake of easiness it is also written as a ABCD, and that's why this parametrical approach or analysis is also recognized as a ABCD parameters. Okay, where the direction of flow of power, or in other words the current, is entertained in unidirection only, unlike all the assumptions we have taken in the last three parameters. So here it is going to violate that, or you can say in other words it's going to correct it. Okay, so that's why you are getting a negative sign with the I2 as far as that standard nomenclature is concerned, because in standard nomenclature we consider I2 is inward, whereas in this case you are going to consider the outward. So opposite 180 degree phase shift than that of your standard nomenclature. So that's why we consider it I2. So as you can appreciate here, you can see that your V1 I1 is surprisingly is the dependent variables, whereas V2 and I2 are the known variables. What does it mean? That means the requirement of the output port, requirement of the distribution network, requirement of a substation which is used to interconnect the local distribution network with the transmission network. requirement of the end user is already known to you in advance. Okay, so there is no ambiguity or speculation as far as the V2 and I2 are concerned, and accordingly you are going to set the quantities of the T11, 12, 21 and 22, or in other words, in a simpler term, we called it A, B, C, D. Okay, where in that case you can say that A is what? It is nothing but it is again a voltage gain or is a voltage transfer ratio, but in a reverse order. Remember, your V1 is the numerator and V2 is the denominator. So you are again moving in the reverse direction. So it is a reverse voltage gain, or you can say that the voltage transfer ratio, okay, by considering the output terminal open, right? So if you are going to put the same constraints, that what about I2 is equal to 0, so you can also get one more term, that is your forward conductance or forward transconductance quantity or the parameter, I would say. So it is T21, or in other words it is C. Okay, again you have got this by keeping your output terminal open. At the same time, if you are going to keep short the output terminal, that is the secondary side. So remember, here output terminal means one analogy you can also say that it is a secondary side. So one is in primary side, two is in the secondary side. So it is very obvious that the power consumer, the end user, is always in the secondary side. Okay, so the V2, if you are doing V2, so that means if you are shorting the same terminal, you will appreciate that you can get the remaining two parameters, that is B and D. What about the B? That is the 2 to 1. So again, that means now you are moving in a reverse direction. Okay, so that is a reverse resistance. Okay, so reverse trans resistance, that is V1 by I2 by shorting the low terminal or shorting the output terminal. So you kept the terminal short, but now if you are going to interrelation the between the two current variables, okay, that is I1 upon I2, so then you will get the reverse current gain, or in other words you can say that the current ratio. Okay, so remember, in the entire scenario you are getting all the factors in reverse direction because your V1 and I1 is the dependent variables. Okay, so you are applying the shorting open circuit condition, as you can see that in this particular diagram. Okay, I hope that you will be able to appreciate. There is a linear two-port network, but now you are assuming the correct direction of flow of I2, unlike the rest of the three parameters. That is the beauty or uniqueness of the ABCD parameter or the transmission parameter. Okay, I hope that the reason should be clear that why this specifically it is designed for the transmission networks. Okay, power transmission networks. Okay, or why it is so useful as far as the modeling and analysis of the power distribution systems and power transmission systems are concerned, primarily power transmission systems. Okay, so if you look at the matrix of the previous equation, you are getting ABCD, that is equal to mod value of 1. You can prove this particular thing. Okay, I give you a challenge over here that as far as this particular statement is concerned. Okay, so for the this particular statement, okay, here I will put arrow mark that your job is to prove this. Okay, prove this. Okay, that AD is minus BC is equal to 1. If you are able to do that, you will get a beautiful relation as far as the any transmission networks is concerned. Can you guess what you can get it? You'll appreciate that if the design system which is able to satisfy this condition will be proven as a reciprocal network. Yes, okay. So in case of Z parameter, you appreciate that how we achieve the reciprocity condition, or how we test that the given network is reciprocal in nature or not. That is Z12 is equal to Z21. Both the transfer factors should be equal. The same thing is the Y and same thing is the H. But in case of AD minus BC, in case of ABCD transmission parameters, the condition should be AD minus BC should be equal to 1. So I have given you a assignment now, or a challenge, that prove that AD minus BC is equal to 1. Okay, so you have, there are numerable methods. One hint I can give you at this stage that you can use, because remember, I will give you one interconnected I will give you dedicated slide over the interconnection or interrelation among all these possible networks in terms of their individual parameters also, that is available in any standard book. Okay, you can appreciate it. So from there also you can establish a relation. or there is a one easier or simple straight away mathematical approach. You know there is Z relation, you know there is a P relation, you know that how we can correlate the A, B, C or D in terms of Z parameter or in terms of Y parameter, or how you can relate individual parameter of Y in terms of ABCD parameter or H parameters. So what you can do, you can write down an equation in terms of Z parameters. For an example, you can adopt Y also. There is absolutely no problem at all. Okay, but let's say if you are assuming the Z parameter, you are going to establish interrelation between Z parameters and ABCD parameters. Let us assume that. Okay, you can take any combination. Fine. So if you are going to substitute the value of A, B, C, D in terms of Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z22, then you will be able to satisfy this very easily with a fewer number of steps. Okay, so whether you write in a capital or in a small scale, it doesn't make any difference. But this statement is called that if your given matrix is satisfying this condition, so that means that transmission network is reciprocal in nature. Okay. Similarly, I hope that now you will be able to appreciate what about this condition, as far as what about this condition at all. Can you say? Yeah. Let me highlight this one like this. Okay. So let me highlight this one. Okay. So from now here onwards, again I give you one more challenge, that prove that with the help of this statement you satisfy that the system is symmetric or not. Okay. I hope that you got the answer. The previous one, AD minus BC, will help you to evaluate that whether your transmission network or the given two-port network is reciprocal in nature or not. Whereas the bottom one is able to help you that to check or to evaluate that whether the two-port network, the given ABCD network, is symmetric in nature or so it is a condition that A should be equal to D. Again, I would exchange the same challenge, okay, assignment to you, that prove that A is equal to D and it is a condition of symmetricity of any given ABCD parameter or the two-port network is concerned, transmission network is concerned in terms of Z parameters. Obviously, again, I repeat, you can do the same task using the Y parameter as well. Okay, fine. I hope that you will be able to solve. Okay. So did you test that whether the circuit is symmetric or not, or the reciprocal in nature or not? So from the quantity you got from ABCD parameters, you can check there itself. Okay. As far as this network is concerned, it is an example of a symmetric network. Okay. Let's see how. I hope that you might have already solved. It's a very simple problem. So you know that as far as the transmission parameter is concerned, you have to apply the open circuit or short circuit condition in under the head of output port only. Okay. So in that case, if you see that you can write down the first equation itself. That is, yes, because the next mesh is open, so it's a single mesh. You can write down a standard equation, that is V1 is equal to 30 of I. Okay. So and the V2 is equal to obviously that is a 20I minus of 3I1. 3I1 is the additional drop. So 17I1. So from here A is straight away you are getting 30 by 17, whereas C you are getting 1 by 17. So, okay. A is the dimensionless. Right? Similarly, you apply the short circuit condition over here. Now you can write down your two mesh equations, or you directly apply the modal equation over here. The point is called VA because it is going to separate with the 10 ohm resistance. So the voltage drop before and after the 10 ohm resistance will be different, as you know. So therefore, let us assume some node A or the 1 dash, anything you can name. So it's something different than V1 or V2. That's all. So it is V1 minus VA upon 10. Okay, minus is equal to how much? So it should be equal to VA by 20 and plus of I2. Fine. So whereas you know the amount of VA is equal to nothing but it is equal to 3 of I1. What is I1? I1 is equal to V1 minus VA by 10. So using this you can remove these substitutions and you can get your answers in terms of I1 and I2 only, so that you can replace the value of V1 and VA, because that is not our purpose. fine. So from here you can appreciate that you are getting your ratio of I1 by I2. So that means from there you can get the value of B, which is again you are getting negative to negative will cancel each other, so it is 20.70, right? The same as A. Whereas the value of B, the value of V1 and V2, you can replace it in terms of I1. So V1 you already got, okay, so and the V2 is already known to you, so you can substitute that value in terms of I1, so you are getting 50.1. So from here, though again I advise you to check that whether AD minus BC is equal to 1 is not here, but this network is symmetric in, so that's how you can solve some circuital problems, and you can analyze your ideas and check your fundamentals, right? Let's say consider one more network again, a standard step up voltage step up network with the same problem what we have considered in this hybrid network also. So the purpose of this considering of the similar kind of circuit is that so that you will be able to appreciate the difference between or between all the different parameters, that is Z parameter, Y parameter, H parameter and ABCD parameter. At the same time, the impact of the different parameters over the using different constraint over the same network. So you will be able to uh, get the very clear idea. Okay. So here obviously you can get two equation. V1 is equal to 1 by a times of V2 because V2 is the step up side. So we are considering something different than that of V2 because it is going to separate it by a resistance R. So it is V2 dash. At the same time, I1 is equal to minus a times of I2, or you can say that I2 is equal to minus 1 by a times of I1. Okay, so you can write down your transmission parameters over here. You can check that the network is neither symmetrical nor reciprocal in nature. Okay, but now I would advise you that you remove the value of R. If you are going to remove the value of R, then what will happen? Yes, it is 1 by A. Okay, and if the value of A is equal to 1, so that means there is no amplification, there is only tightly coupled tuning circuit. Okay, the same equal number of winding. In that case, the network is both symmetrical and reciprocal. So from here you can check. Okay. So I've given you one more application over here because it is a transmission parameter. So transmission parameter is in unidirectional. So remember that the more than one transmission parameter can be used to interconnect to establish a global transmission network, or what you can say that the interconnected grid. Like in India, there are the 5 grids, dedicated grids, which is used to interconnect the whole country as a one electrical unit. Okay, in terms of the transmission parameters. Fine. So obviously the transmission, whenever we are going to use the transmission parameter, it is also used to determine the overall cascade parameters. Right. So we already have seen this kind of demonstration and example in case of the Z and Y parameter. So I hope that you will be appreciated and able to solve it. Still, for your better understanding, you consume 2 minutes of time and then I will continue. So I hope that you will be able to develop your understanding. So remember here the T1 and T2 is mentioned because the detailed nomenclature of the problem is not given. But when you will see a real life scenario, then the value of T1, T2, you might be required to find it out, or it should be been given. Okay, so that's how you can establish the cascade connection between the 1 and 4th terminal in terms of T1 and T2. Right? So I hope that you will be able to appreciate it. For the sake of simplicity, we can verify the value of ABCD parameter. Here it is mentioned in the bottom of the left corner of the slide. That is in terms of T11, 12 and 21 and 22. That is nothing but the value of ABCD. In case of A, for example, if you see it is V1 by V2, keeping I2 is equal to 0. Whereas in this case, it is ratio of V2 by V1. That is reverse fine. But by keeping I1 is equal to 0. Okay, so that you remember that the terminal impedance you have been completely changed, but the common thing is that as far as the applying the short circuit condition or the open circuit condition to calculate the individual parameter or the quantity are the remain same. Okay, so that's why here you can say that it is the inverse of the each parametrical value of the quantity. That's what I told you about, that the conversion of the entire two port parameters. All the interrelation you can have established here. Okay, you can cross verify. I would suggest that you should eagerly look forward this particular table, okay, but not to cram it, but to justify. Say for example, in terms of using jet parameter itself, you will be able to prove all the kind of parameters, right? Similarly y, similarly h, g, t or dash, okay. So remember it, right? Remember in the last slide, as far as the Boyle state is concerned, here it is mentioned the t dash, which is different than that of the t, okay, but not in our case. So here one more problem is given, or you can say that some additional slot of problem. So it is used to calculate, say that for the t parameter is given and you are asked to find out the z and g parameters. So as I told you that you should be able to relate the relation between the number of all the possible kind of parameters. And from there you can interrelate those parameters and then you can substitute and you can get your appreciate in terms of z parameter like in terms of t and similarly you can do the other possible kind of exercises also. I hope that with this the fundamental requirement and the use of the modeling of the transmission network would have been clear to you, okay. And in the next lecture we are now going to briefly discuss about the interrelation of about the interconnected networks, that is the number of serial networks, number of parallel networks, or serial to parallel network or parallel to serial network with the help of the available ABCD